Hi guys, Cam here from Akaonlinegamers doing part 3 of our third Assassin's Creed 3 walkthrough. Part 3 of 3 for Memory 3 of Sequence 1, a lot of 3s there. And yeah, so this is the memory where you are on the boat. And if you have watched the previous two walkthroughs, you will know that you've just received some information from James about men plotting against the captain above deck at night time, which is what the captain was worried about. And if you haven't, I'll leave links below. I'll tag it in the video and you can go back and watch them if you need them. If not, just continue watching this one. So what happens here is your ship comes under attack from another vessel. They fire a warning shot, which is basically like saying they're not going to attack you if you just let them come on board and take over your ship. But obviously the captain's not going to let them do that. So he's getting all of his men to, he's rallying them basically and getting them to load the cannons. He then sends you below deck. He's basically saying, you don't have experience on a ship, you don't really know what's going on, do you? So you're better off being below deck rather than just getting in the way up here. And you do tend to agree, so you go below deck. Now you will take control here and you need to walk. Oh, you don't take control here, sorry. You get walked below deck. The hatchet shuts. And then you see below deck mills, which is a bit weird because you would have thought that everyone would have been above deck fighting. And you sort of mention that there isn't any signs of mutiny, and Mills basically grasses himself up and says it's all been him. He's been throwing them barrels out of the ship as markers to let the other ship know their path so they can come and take them over, to come and take you specifically. He knows about the crimes you did in London. He's obviously going to be getting paid for doing this, so this ship's coming to collect you basically after you committed that murder and sort of take you back to prison in London. And Mills is the man who's set you up. And he's basically said, surrender and I'll make sure you're treated with honour. And instead you basically go, nah, I want to fight you. That's the extent of it really. So he gives you his sword, he then goes into the box and pulls out another sword, and you're going to end up in a sword fight with Mills, using all of the skills you learned before about fighting. Although this is the first time you have fought with a weapon. I'm not. Are there any on-screen hints? I'll check now. See, there's a few on-screen hints. The red icon lets you know that that target must be killed. So what happens is, as you press the triangle, as the triangle comes up above his head, that means he's going to attack you. So you're going to want to counter-attack him there. And if you can counter and press X, even better. It means you get more attacks in. But I just kept countering him and throwing him into different walls and stuff, and just kept attacking him separately, waiting for him to attack me. If he did, and I would just counter him and then attack him again. He's not a very hard person to kill, to be honest. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. So just keep fighting him like this, and eventually, see, he drops his sword there, so he's not much trouble with you anymore. And eventually, you will kill Mills right there, finished him off. And as you do that, it will lead out into a cutscene where you go back up on the top deck with the captain, and the captain's saying that he told you to go down below deck, and you're basically telling them what happened, that you killed Mills and that this ship's there after you. It says all of you let them know all they're coming after is you. So then the captain, being a dick, just says, "Oh, well, they can have you. I'm not that fussed." So then obviously you do what all good assassins do and whip out your hidden blade and pretty much put it to his neck in a minute, because what you're telling them is, you're saying the only way to get away from them is going to be to sail straight into a storm. He doesn't want to sail into the storm because he's pretty sure that his ship will break, but you sort of force him into it with your hidden blade, threatening him with death. So you do turn the ship straight into the storm. As you can see here, it's gone to a cutscene later on that day, and you are still being followed by the other ship, and you've basically just headed into a massive stormy area of the sea. So the ship just gets hit by lightning there. A lot of the ropes and stuff haven't been tended to, they're not tied down. So you basically get told you need to go and tie them down now. So as this cutscene ends in right now, you're going to want to head to the green objective, the first one over there. Run, preferably, rather than walking like me. I just sort of thought I'd take a bit of a stroll. Straight over there, press B to interact with it, and you then do secure the rope. After you secure this rope, you will then head to the next rope, which is over the other side of the ship. So if you run along here, down on the right hand side of this area here, heading up top there, head up the stairs, and you get to the rope. You then interact again by using B, or circle if you're on PlayStation, to secure the rope once more. So you keep going with the securing, tie it up. Then it will head into a small cutscene again where lightning strikes the boat. I do believe, no, it's not even lightning. It's just oh, it is lightning. I was right. And the rope sort of frails off and is broken basically. So it's the same as all the other ones. You do just need to interact with it just to tie it, but it's just sort of making it a little bit different, saying it's broke rather than you just have to tie it down. So you get across there as quick as you can, tie that rope down, and the captain comes up to you and lets you know that you need to release the sails basically. So this is your first piece of real climbing. You're going to, other than in the opera house, your first piece of real climbing on the boat, I should say. You're going to want to, on the right hand side there, them ropes, that's where you're going to want to climb up. I wasn't sure if you could or not. I decided to try the wooden mast in the middle first, didn't work. So then I turn around and head up the ropes, because they just looked like the only other option. And I was correct with that. So you're going to want to head up there, keep pushing your way up these ropes, all the way to that point there, and you're going to want to move along to the left and actually get yourself onto the wooden part and walk your way down there. If you try and sprint, he just jumps onto that part there that I jumped onto. So you need to jump there and then walk the rest like I did, or you can just walk the full thing. As you get there, you'll need to use B to interact and deploy the sail. As you can see, he gets out his knife and he cuts the rope to deploy the sail. And now, unfortunately, the ship gets struck by lightning, and James, who was up there, who had previously helped you out, sort of has to jump off, and he's hanging on this little thing there as the mast of the ship collapses over the edge. So you now have 40 seconds for your second optional objective. You need to rescue him within 40 seconds. It's so easy. I think it takes me about 13 seconds here. All you need to do is just run straight along. It's pretty much a straight line running. As you get there, just jump off by pressing A, and you'll automatically go into a cutscene and tackle him to the ground and save him from hanging on that rope. And if you look behind you now, the ship that was following you gets struck by lightning and it falls into the sea. It gets split in half and the ship is totally destroyed. So you've pretty much stopped the people who are following you coming after you. You're pretty safe now, and your boat's heading out into clear waters. It then goes into day 72 in the Atlantic Ocean. It's obviously a pretty long boat journey, but I mean, in them days that's how long it took. It's realistic, I guess, but obviously they're not going to make you play all 72 days, so they've just picked three, well, if you include this one, 4 specific events that you need to play out. So now you're in your cabin, you can tell you're sort of getting a bit sick, you're just wanting to get to America, and you are just sat there sort of a bit frustrated. Then you hear seagulls, you hear the noise of seagulls, so you're obviously thinking, oh, seagulls must be close to land. So you will then head up to top deck, right here. You need to walk yourself up the top deck, same way you've always walked up. As you can see there, we've got the optional objective for rescuing James within 40 seconds. Pretty easy objective, like I've already said, they're not going to be hard on sequence 1. The optional objectives, they're wanting you to get as much synchronization as possible to start with, getting you used to the game again. So you're going to want to head up this staircase here, and as you reach the top, it will go into a cutscene. As you go, no, sorry, it won't. I totally lied. You go to the left here, and it'll go into a cutscene with the captain, and he basically letting you know that you're close to America, you're close to land, and you don't actually believe him. And he just goes right, head up the mast into the little into the nest, and you can have a look for yourself if you want. So second piece of climbing on the boat, not very hard. There's no optional objective at this point. You can take as much time as you want. You can go and have a wander around the boat at this point. I would recommend, if you are going to do it now. Go and try some of the dice games or something like that. But if you just want to get on with the campaign, then just follow the guide here. Follow the way that I climb up. It's pretty much just straight line climbing. There's nothing too hard. So you climb your way right up to the top. Keep going up. Keep going. It is quite a climb. And then eventually you will get your way up to that point there, and it will go into a cutscene, and you'll get onto the platform here, and you'll look, and you'll be able to see the land of America. And we are heading towards the end of the video now, guys. Hopefully all 3 parts of this walkthrough helped you. Really appreciate you watching it. If it did help you, please drop us a like, leave a comment if you've got any questions, subscribe to us if you like the videos. So thanks for watching. Cam here from Akaonlinegamers, and I am out.